Yo, stop abusing your mind and see what happens. You see, we have the power to sculpt our minds the same way that we do have the power to sculpt our bodies. When you put in time and effort into cultivating your thought patterns, you can think of it like a garden. You cultivate the types of beliefs that you have through reinforcement and through looking at selective evidence that actually portrays things that are true rather than things that you just feel are true. So you see objective reality. And through doing things like this, you can actually cultivate a mindset that benefits you and serves you rather than a mindset that works against you and hampers you. So when you're working out your body and you're taking care of it, one of the main things that you have to do is not just to think about, oh, what exercises should I do? This exercise will strengthen this muscle, this exercise will strengthen this muscle. This is the most common approach. And of course, it will get you a long way. It will take you a path to, it'll take you to a point that's far better than where you started at. But it's the same thing with your mind. You see, you can train your mind to improve with certain skills and abilities, and that's like exercising your muscles, right? And if you train certain thought patterns and reinforce those thought patterns, that's like training a certain muscle too. But then there's also another factor, which is what types of foods do you put into your body? So basically, what types of foods are you eating, right? Because if you're working out and you're exercising your muscles, but you're still putting junk food into your body, then your results are really going to be subpar compared to somebody who's actually eating healthy or mostly healthy. Like the percentage of food that they eat that's actually healthy versus non-healthy is going to be a large difference. The amounts of fat that are deposited on the person's body, it's going to really change how they look at the end of the certain time period when you compare it to where the person started at. And the person who eats healthy is going to have a much better functioning body and they're going to look a lot better. Whereas the person who was eating a lot of junk food will obviously have a lot more adipose tissue, you'll have a lot more fat. So it's the same thing with your mind actually, but the difference is that it's not actually food that you put into your mind. You can figuratively, as a figure of speech, say that you're putting like mental food or food for thought, as the expression goes, into your mind. So that's like what types of thought patterns. No, it's not your thought patterns. Sorry, it's what types of information and basically what types of information you're consuming. You could say that. So are you reading the news a whole bunch, for example, which is pretty useless if you ask me, because a lot of the news is just fear mongering and just trying to get like clickbait, but in a different format from the internet, right? And then we have the internet, things like TikTok, Instagram, these sorts of things. And I'm not saying there's anything inherently wrong with any of these things, but I am saying that consuming these mediums of content is not ideal for the cultivation of your brain. So it's going to be slowing you down from your goals, and it's going to basically be the equivalent of junk food for your brain. You're going to lose so much focus, you're going to lose so much willpower by wasting your energy and attention by focusing on these types of content like news, social media, and just pop culture in general, honestly. Like I'm not, like I said, nothing super wrong with pop culture or any of these things. It's just that it's basically, it's not just wasting your time. When you're wasting your time, you're losing the opportunity cost of what you could have been doing instead. And then in addition to that, you're reinforcing patterns of behavior that are also going to be detrimental to your brain, because once again you'll be losing opportunity costs of what you could have used that same amount of time for instead. And then in addition to that, you're basically giving your brain useless information that's like gonna it's gonna be the equivalent of eating junk food and putting on fat on your body. You're putting on those extra calories for your brain because your brain's getting this information that it does not need at all. You're telling it things that couldn't care less about because there are just like 10 things really that people should be focusing on, right? That are actually important. And instead of doing that, most people just waste their time on all these other things. And I'm making this video for myself as much as I am for you because this is something that I need to improve on and work on too because I still have too much time that I waste on most days. Not every day, and yeah, but it's just something that I want to improve on. So basically, I'm making this video for me just as much as I am for you. So when you cultivate your content that you consume into something that's actually going to be beneficial for you on the most part, that doesn't have to be perfect. If you make improvements, that already will go a long way, right? And when you do that, then you'll have so much more mental and thought capital to spend on those 10 things or so that you should be doing to really further your life in the areas that you want to improve your life in. So with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe down below. And I'm out for this one. Peace. Take care.